Okay, so this video is going to be about wrestling with God. I had a bit of an argument with God today, and now that I look back on the day, and it was a really hard day. It was one of those days when nothing seemed to go the way I wanted it to, nothing seemed to go according to plans. I wouldn't say everything went wrong, it just went differently from how I thought it would, and really threw me for a loop. And some stuff went wrong too. Plus, on top of that, I've kind of been feeling under the weather a little bit. Sore throat and runny nose, congestion. And it's one of those little kid runny noses, you know, like when kids don't really get sick, but they just have a constantly running nose and you have to keep wiping it and wiping it. That's what I've had to deal with today. So I'm going the natural route and drinking my hot tea. This is Osfreisente. I think it's from Russia or Ukraine or somewhere in Eastern Europe. It's really good tea. And I'm just trying to get over this and taking a lot of vitamin C and multivitamins and such. I'm not one for medicine. But anyway, I had an argument with God today, and that's what this is about. I think that a lot of people don't realize that it's okay to argue with God. God understands where you're coming from. You know, this whole thing with Jesus is supposed to be about a relationship anyway, and every relationship has its arguments. Everybody fights with everybody in a relationship. Even if you love each other, there will come a day when you don't get along, and you don't see eye to eye, and you gotta work through it. Roughly, but you gotta work through it. And that's normal, and that's okay. As long as you still love each other, and you treat each other with honor and respect and love, it's okay to argue. Sometimes it's necessary. And so I think it's the same with our relationship with God. He knows that we don't always see eye to eye, and He knows your perspective, and He knows my perspective on things. And He just wants us to talk to Him about it. Even if we get emotional with it, and intense, and start screaming at Him, He's okay with that. As long as we continue to love Him, He doesn't get too offended, I think. So anyway, I was talking to God about church issues and social issues and friend issues that I'm going through right now. And I have been dealing with some of these issues for quite a while, for a long time, and I was to the point today that I was just tired of it. And so late this morning, early afternoon, I just went in my room and I shut the door and I started screaming at God for about 30 minutes. And we talked things through. And so I was walking around my house tonight. Actually, I was getting my tea. And God started talking to me. And I want to say this real quick. I think it's really funny that when we talk to God, it's called prayer, but when God talks to us, people call it paranoia, or schizophrenia, or, you know, hallucinations or whatever. I mean, if hearing God's voice is a psychological problem, then why do we talk to God? You know, why do we pray if God can't hear us? I mean, does that mean if God hears us, He has a psychological problem? I mean, think about it. So, I mean, if God can't talk to us, why should we talk to Him? But we do talk to Him, and He talks to us, and that's what I believe. And I have what I believe to be proof for it, at least for myself. I know that other people will require more tangible proof for God's voice, but that's all I need for me. So anyway, God was telling me about today in our fight that we had today. It wasn't really a fight, it was just an argument. There's a difference. I wasn't attacking God, I was just questioning Him and venting, and he understood. Because I was stressed out and upset. And He was okay with that. So anyway, God was talking to me about our argument today. And He said, well, you know, Kevin, there are a lot of other people out there who are Christian, who are upset at God for one reason or another, and they don't feel like it's okay to lash out if necessary to release the emotions that they are feeling. So I think it's necessary to talk about arguing with God. Because I had an argument with God today, but I don't hate him. I'm not still mad at him. I'm not bitter with him. I'm just, I guess I've been frustrated with him and not really understanding where he's taking me in life and not really understanding what he's doing, as if a human could really fully understand God. I mean, come on. It's two different worlds. But I was talking to God about it, violently talking to him about it, intensely talking to him about it, letting him know how I feel about everything and what I think. And he may not have agreed that everything I was thinking and feeling was positive or acceptable to live like that. But sometimes it's necessary to just express what you're feeling to God and work through it with him. He wants to be there for you to talk through this stuff, these intense emotions that you're feeling. We all get upset, you know. I have been very upset with certain people, and I haven't always been able to talk about it with everybody, so I talk about it with God. And no, God is not always the first person I go to with everything. He should be, but he's not. I'm getting to that point in time. But when I do talk to God about what I'm going through, I find it's very relaxing. I find it's even more relaxing when God talks back to me, because I feel like, okay, I'm alright. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to be going through this stuff. And God is with me through it all, and he still loves me, even though I'm acting like a spoiled little brat sometimes, even though I'm being intense and emotional, maybe feeling a bit insecure. He's still with me, and he's still with anyone who argues with him for just cause, you know? He understands what we're going through. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. If you feel like you've got something on your heart, on your mind, something weighing you down, just talk about it with God. Even if it comes out in the form of screaming and arguing, it's okay. Just let it out. He understands, and he wants to work with you through it. He's not going to leave you. He's not going to get mad at you. He's not going to hold a grudge against you. He just wants to be there for you to help you out. Okay? Much love.